lovers, it is GSwiz here, and I'm here today with a massive unboxing. So let's just say that November was a very good month for Waterstones packages. So majority of the books I will be unboxing today just so happen to be from Waterstones. I do also have a Big W package because I got an Australian exclusive edition of a book, and I do have my Fairyloots to unbox. As I'm filming this video today, I actually don't have my young adult Fairyloot box yet. I followed up with the courier about it. I really hope that they have not lost it. It did get accepted and approved through customs, so I'm not too sure why they're taking a while to bring it here. It's been a week since it got approved by customs. But I do have my Fairyloot adult box for this month. I hate to say it, I'm not necessarily pleased with the design. So I hope that this video ends off on a high with the Fairyloot young adult box, because yeah, I have been spoiled for the Fairyloot adult box for November, and I'm not pleased with the design. That's all I will say until we get there. So I guess without further ado, let's get straight into this unboxing. I will start off with my Big W package, and then I will move on to some amazing Waterstones books. I have a very good book to haul from Waterstones. I really hope that I was not catfished into believing that I ordered a special edition of a book that just so happened to sell out within 5 minutes of its restock. But yeah, we'll see how I go. Let's get straight into this unboxing. I'm gonna start off with this Big W package. I really hope it's not damaged. Yeah, it's not. It's damaged. Oh, maybe, just maybe, the other Fairyloot dust jacket can come through for this. Okay, so I have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros in the ANZ exclusive edition. It's just a bit creased here. I mean, actually, no, that's a little bit of a rip. But we are getting replacement dust jackets from Fairyloot for their misalignment on the poster side. So I can actually replace the dust jacket physically, thankfully. Oh my goodness. The pages seem to be intact, so I'm really happy about that. You know what? Maybe I'm actually not going to use the original dust jacket in general for this edition. The reason why I'm saying that is because I also pre-ordered the Touch of Magic Designs dust jacket for Fourth Wing, so I don't think I'm going to purchase another hardback of Fourth Wing when I could just simply put it on this one. Regardless of whether or not, you know, this is damaged, I think that should be okay. And as I inspect the naked hardback, I see that there's a little dent there. It's not necessarily like extremely ripped. I think that that should be okay. I mean, it's going to be covered by a dust jacket anyway, and it's not like there's foiling on the naked hardback anyway beside the spine, so I should be good there. I'm not necessarily happy with the condition this got sent to me in, but thankfully I am going to be using these editions for my Touch of Magic Designs dust jacket. So I am very much looking forward to receiving that beautiful dust jacket when it comes through, so then I can repackage this bad boy, because it's not even just bent here. I'm just noticing that there are scratches on this foil. I mean, look, Big W sold it at the cheapest price. The recommended retail price for this hardback was $50, and the retail price with Big W was $30. And if I was to purchase it from Dimmix, it would have been like, what, $37 or something? I'm not too sure about QBD, but what I do know is that Big W was the cheapest price to get the special edition. I'm not necessarily happy with the condition that it came to me in. However, in this instance, I'm really happy to have a workaround for this specific copy. And now let's move on to some Waterstones packages. I cannot wait. I honestly cannot tell which one is which. I do know where the glorious final package is because I happened to order 2 books at the same time in that glorious package. So basically, I know what to save for last. So I'm just gonna pick at random here. This is the one I picked out. Let's see what this one is. Gonna try to hide my address. Oh, there's some flowers on here. What was this book again? Like, I totally forgot what I ordered. Dang it. Oh, okay. No, this is A Curse for True Love. I didn't realize that there were gonna be daisies on the back. That's awesome. I have the Curse for True Love, not Waterstones exclusive edition, but like the first edition. I mean, it says exclusive edition. I don't know if that means that it's Waterstones exclusive, but yeah, this right here is the hardback that I received, and I love it. And I'm just so happy to have this in my collection. And I'm not gonna lie, I was going to unbox my Fairyloot, A Quest for True Love, in this video, but something was telling me that I needed to check the condition of the book as soon as possible. And I did, and I have it right here. Let me show you. Here's my Fairyloot special edition. It has no end pages on this side, which means that I believe we're missing some Ava Jax fan art, because on this side we have the 2 other characters on here, but where's my Ava Jax? Honestly, I'm glad I went with my instinct. Fairyloot have said that they are going to replace this copy. I will go into the features when I unbox it eventually, but I really hope that the new copy I receive comes in better condition, because yeah, this right here, that's devastating. devastating. But anyway, back to this glorious edition. I really love this color. I think I prefer this colorway over the Fairyloot edition for once, because I do actually like the colorways for the other Fairyloot editions, but I love this specific shade of green. I also love the stained glass aesthetic, and I'm loving these flowers, especially these daisies. I was actually really surprised when I was opening the package because I saw the daisies. I'm like, what is this book? But I'm really happy that I have received a first edition copy of A Curse for True Love, which means at the moment I have 2 foiled editions of the books in the series, which are the second and the third books, but maybe that might just change. Maybe it might change within the span of this video. And now I'm going to move on to the next Waterstones package to unbox. So let's unbox this bad boy. Ah, guess what? It did change within the span of this video. I have the Hotterscape Vault exclusive edition of Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. And unlike the first edition I have on my shelf, this one right here has foiling. Now, if you have not been following me for the last 2 years, you would not know how devastated I was when I found out that my pre-order of Once Upon a Broken Heart, a book I pre-ordered a few months before its actual release date, when I found out that my book depository copy went out of stock as soon as the book went on sale, and then came back in stock months later, and then got sent to me without foiling, you have no idea how disappointed I was, because I specifically pre-ordered months in advance and I did not get a foiled copy, and I am just so devastated about that. But Hotterscape came through. They decided, you know what, we understand that not every one of the fans got a foiled copy of the first book, so we're gonna do this special Hotterscape edition where we have a design that was not featured on any of the original Naked hardbacks. I am personally overjoyed at the fact that we have the chance to get a first book in the series foiled. I didn't mention this with the previous book that I was talking about, A Curse for True Love, but this was a book series I absolutely fell in love with during 2023. I'm really happy that I finally read it. I really enjoyed the series, and I thought I wouldn't because I did not love Caraval. Caraval was one of the most disappointing series I read last year, but honestly, I'm so in love with Ava Jacks. I'm so happy that we have a story that surrounds them, and I loved the overall plot of this series. And I loved the writing. I loved all of it. It just felt so magical and just so fairy tale-esque. I really appreciated it. I know it's not perfect. I wasn't too pleased with the finale. However, I'm still kind of satisfied with it, if you know what I mean. Overall, I'm very much content with the fact that I now have a fully foiled set of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. The second last Waterstones package I have to unbox today. I totally forgot what's in this package. I know what's in the last package, but I just don't know what's in this one. Oh, okay, yep. So we have double the Once Upon a Broken Heart, but we also have, oh, that hurt, that hurt. Okay, okay, take 2. Okay, the nail did not break, but it got slapped pretty hard when I was trying to yank this book out. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to do it very carefully. We have double the Fourth Wing. So right here, I have the Waterstones exclusive of Fourth Wing. That's why I don't have black sprayed edges here. I didn't get the US exclusive edition, and the reason why I didn't was because I just want to make sure that every single one of my Fourth Wing hardbacks, unless of course it's like super, super pretty, like if there's like foiling and everything, and if it's over the top, I just want to make sure that they're kind of like all harmonious with one another. Like if I was to get a dust jacket for this specific version of Fourth Wing, then it would be able to match. I do like the in-page art here. I'm not too sure if that's standard for the UK edition, and yeah, no foiling, but I do like this cool cover. I kind of prefer the tone of this cover over the regular gold one personally, and overall I'm really happy to have this. I don't know, I just saw it, I needed to put it in my cart, and now I have it. I know, this is a huge problem. Fourth Wing is definitely one of my favorite books I've read this year. I did not like the sequel, but I'm happy to collect multiple editions of the first book at least. And right before we move on to my Fairyloot unboxing, I have this glorious Waterstones package here that contains 2 books, and one of them is an exclusive edition, hopefully. If it's not, you won't be hearing the end of it. Okay. Guys, I think I was not catfished. But before we move on to the special edition book that I have to talk about in this unboxing, I will go into the standard edition I have to share from this package. I have the traditionally published edition of The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And what made me decide to purchase this edition was seeing the preview images for the Naked hardback. Seeing this made me so happy because I was so scared of the publisher taking The Serpent and the Wings of Night and doing absolutely absolutely nothing with its naked hardback design, considering that the independently published hardback for this book and this series actually has a beautiful cover design underneath, and this one is not too different from it, but there are slight differences, and I am very much appreciative of this design. I cannot wait to see the next one in the series as well, and we have the same saying, I believe, as the independently published edition that says, never trust, never yield, always guard your heart. I'm just so happy I have it. Now, I currently have 3 editions of this one book. I've pre-ordered a 4th one because the Bookshbox just so happened to include it in their subscription, and as I'm filming this right now, I'm also looking to get Fairyloots. So at least before Fairyloots goes on sale, I probably need to read this book series because I am collecting this book series for good reason. I mean, Carissa Broadbent is definitely one of my favorite authors of all time after the War of Lost Heart series, but I need to read this book. I really do. I've been putting it off. It's terrible. I know. I need to give you some background for this next book I'm just about to reveal, right? So, there was a book that I read earlier this year. But before I read this book earlier this year, before this book was even published, I had put this special edition in my cart, and I was waiting to see if there were going to be any other Waterstones exclusive editions to be revealed within the upcoming weeks. So I had kept this very special edition in my cart for a while. And then one day, when I finally wanted to purchase another Waterstones exclusive edition, I found out this specific edition of this specific book sold out. And it wasn't even past publication date. No, this book wasn't even published. And this book had completely sold out on the Waterstones website. I remember being so devastated because I found the book to be absolutely pretty. But I was even more devastated when I finally read the book. I fell in love with the book. I just think to myself, I really wish I had taken the opportunity to pre-order the book when I had the opportunity, but I just didn't. I was so angry at myself. I was so sad. I was so angry at myself. I've talked about this book on my channel a few times. I love this book. I really do. I do have the Fairyloot edition of the book, but for me, I was still not okay. And every single time I thought of purchasing the UK exclusive edition, I told myself I needed to hold off just in case there would be some miracle in getting this specific Waterstones exclusive edition. And a few times on the bookish internet, people would post to Facebook groups and saying, it's back in stock on Waterstones, to them eventually realizing that it was either a glitch in the system or they only had a few copies available, right? But this is a miraculous story, guys. Okay, get ready. One day, Camilo and I went out to breakfast, and after having breakfast, we were going to plan to go on the train to the city, right? But the catch is, I find out as we are at the cafe, just before we leave, I had left my wallet in our apartment. So I had to go back home to get my wallet, and I'm so happy I did. You know why? I went back home to grab my wallet, and then on Facebook, someone had posted on a Facebook page, guys, get in quick. This book is back on the Waterstones website. I immediately grabbed my laptop, opened it, screaming. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to sign into my account. I need to put this book in the cart and then check out. And thankfully, I also had Serpent and the Wings of Night in my cart already because I was doing the same thing with Serpent, where I was waiting for another book to purchase from Waterstones in order to like add and combine shipping and stuff. And then I had made it. And then a few minutes later, people were commenting on that post saying, I can't believe I missed it. It sold out. I had a very rare window of opportunity because I left my wallet at home. If I did not leave my wallet at home, I would not have known at that time, and I would not have had my laptop with all that information ready for me to go. You have no idea how excited I am to present to you the special edition I got. So, after all that backstory, I present to you my Waterstones exclusive edition of the Hurricane Wars. I have talked about this previously on my channel. I've talked about how devastated I was to have missed this opportunity. And here is my comeback story. I have it. And it's so beautiful. And it's foiled too. No, it doesn't have gold foiling, but it has purple foiling. Look at this foiling. It's so gorgeous. I am so happy I saved my purchase of the Hurricane Wars for the one rare opportunity I had to purchase this beautiful Waterstones edition. So first of all, check that beautiful cover out. Like, I do have to admit, this cover is not as great as the Fairyloot exclusive edition. I do prefer the Fairyloot exclusive edition, but this is still absolutely magnificent. It's such an excellent piece of art. And then we have these beautiful pages here, and I very much appreciate the design of these pages. I do appreciate that my Fairyloot edition is like much darker, and then this edition is much lighter. Yeah, I can't wait for them to sit next to each other. It's gonna be so fun. And now let's look at the end page art. Okay, we've got a map. I really love that full color map. I do love the end pages for the Fairyloot edition because they have some very pretty art on them and it's foiled as well. But I do kind of like how different this is to my Fairyloot edition. I really love that they serve different purposes. Yes, and I've seen this everywhere on the internet. I saw a bunch of people call out like how amazing this naked hardback foiling is. Yeah, a lot of people are saying like even though the Fairyloot edition is amazing, the standard UK hardback edition is also stunning. I did want to get this edition for these reasons as well, but I held off because I wanted these pages so bad. I'm so happy I did. Okay, yeah, wow, okay. Every single time I share that story with anyone, I get so giddy. I mean, I remember just gushing to my work colleagues about it the other week when I finally got it, but like, it's just a relief to finally see it here physically because I thought that maybe Waterstones could have catfished me. Like, maybe they could have had a glitch in the system and then once the order went through, they're like, oh, dang it, we accidentally charged people for Waterstones special edition. Let's just give them the normal edition instead. That was my biggest fear after ordering this beautiful exclusive edition, and I'm so happy Waterstones did come through. They were honest. I have this beautiful edition now, and out of all the books that I have unboxed today, this is definitely my favorite one. Like, I don't care about the next Fairyloot book that's gonna come. This right here is a highlight. I'm so happy I finally have the Waterstones exclusive edition. I was gonna pay double the price for this. I am so happy and relieved I did not approach resellers because I almost did. I wanted this edition so badly. I have it. I'm so content right now. I'm not too sure if there's gonna be like a YA Fairyloot at the end of this video, but I'm gonna end today's boxing on a downer because I am not a fan of the design of this month's Fairyloot, and I kind of wish I saw the design in advance so I could skip this. I need to give you some context, right? I refused to pre-order any edition of this specific book because I thought, you know what, Fairyloot, they're gonna show up for it, and I'm gonna pay for a Fairyloot edition anyway. I don't need the Illumicrate special edition. I don't need the Waterstones exclusive edition. I don't need the original edition, even though the original edition has the prettiest cover of them all, in my personal opinion. I don't need any other edition but the Fairyloot edition. And then I'm seeing Fairyloot spoilers everywhere, including from Fairyloot. Fairyloot actually prematurely posted the cover for their special edition on their Instagram page, and a lot of people were upset with the spoiler. Now, not everyone hates the special edition for this box right here, but I find it to be quite underwhelming, and I will tell you why. I think some of you guys already know what this is because everyone is talking about it here on the internet. The Fairyloot Adult November book pick is Swordcatcher. What kind of YA cover is this for an adult book? I mean, there are some other YA-like covers that Fairyloot have done previously, like The Curse of Saints. That one seemed to be a YA-like cover, but I was a little bit underwhelmed by the original cover initially. I found the original cover to be plain, right? But I've mentioned this before, I will mention it again. I'm a big fan of if it's not broken, don't fix it. So my question to Fairyloot is, what is this? Is this meant to be our adult Fairyloot book pick? I'm not saying that the artist did a terrible job, because honestly, it's a good design for an art print or a reversible dust jacket. But see, the thing is, right? I was looking everywhere to find out whether or not they had a reversible dust jacket. There's no reversible dust jacket for this. This is a Fairyloot adult book cover, and the original cover looks like this. Insert graphic here. This is not me beefing with the artist because I think that the artist did a good job with the character designs. Like, I really like how detailed they are, so I will give them that. But Fairyloot, maybe you didn't see Illumicrate's design before they released it, but you saw the original cover design, right? And you didn't think to compete with that. I don't know, I just think that an author like Cassandra Clare in a book like Swordcatcher should have two options for a cover if we're gonna get a fan art cover. That's just my personal opinion. Not everyone has to agree. I can understand why everyone loves this cover, especially because they love the characters. But I am personally disappointed because in the one instance that I did not purchase multiple special editions in the lead up to this Fairyloot book, I just so happened to be let down. I really wish I could have used a skip, or I could have purchased the Illumicrate special edition instead, or another edition. And actually, as soon as I found out that this was the book cover, I immediately went to Booktopia and purchased the gift edition, and I'm really hoping I get the the gift edition because I prefer the original cover. I'm just a little sad because I think that the original cover could have had a changed colorway or something like that. I just really wish that something competed with the original cover because the original cover is stunning. I was kind of expecting the level up that we got with the Hurricane Wars because I love the Hurricane Wars original cover, but the Fairyloot edition actually competes with it. It bests the original editions. This cover does not. But once again, that's my opinion. I don't mind this, right? I don't mind this hardback foiling. This is Cassandra Clare's first adult book. She had marketed it as such. So I just kind of expected maybe a design like this, but with a little bit more dimension on the dust jacket. And then this right here is very much suitable for a beautiful foiled cover. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I think once again, Illumicrate one-ups Fairyloot here because I prefer their stained glass aesthetic. But this is still pretty good. I still appreciate these pages. I think I'm definitely going to be displaying this way. I don't know if I'm going to use that dust jacket. I'm just a little bit disappointed. I think I'm very much disappointed because I loved the original edition so much and I had put off purchasing the original edition and the other special editions because I was holding out hope that this one would be the best one because before Fairyloot used to be like unbeatable, you know? I'm a little bit disappointed in this specific design because it feels like a YA design when the cover that the publisher came up with was a perfect cover for an adult high fantasy book. I understand not everyone is going to agree here. I'm just upset at myself for missing out on the opportunity. No, I think I should be upset with Fairyloot here. I don't know. Honestly, I'm conflicted about the entire situation. I don't know who to be more upset with. However, I pre-ordered the Swordcatcher exclusive gift edition from Booktopia, which should hopefully have some beautiful sprayed edges. I'm just hoping that Booktopia can fulfill that order because that gift edition sold out in every other one of the bookstores out there. I'm really hoping that I don't get to miss out on that edition because I waited this long to get it. It's been 2.5 weeks since I filmed that segment and now we're here, finally, with my November Fairyloot. And I have a quick story to tell you. Okay, the courier, even though my address was correct on the package, he pretty much traveled to a different house, but I'm not sure if it's the first time that he did that, the second time he attempted. Yes, there were 2 attempts with this package, and for some reason, one attempt happened, but the next attempt did not happen for another week. I was following up with the courier. I just wanted to know when it was gonna get delivered, and the day that it did get delivered, I got a call from the courier, and he was like, your house is blocked. I can't make my way to your house. I'm like, where are you? And then he quotes the wrong address. Like, he's on the street, but he quotes the wrong house number. Like, he actually says it's a house when I live in a unit. I had to specify to him, like, look, dude, you're at the wrong area. Come to this building. I'm wondering if he did that the first time as well. I have witnessed so many people haul the book and the items in this box. I've been spoiled for this box. I'm excited for it. I definitely think this is one of Fairyloot's best boxes of the year, and I haven't even opened it yet. I've just been spoiled for what's in this box already. I already know what the cover of the book looks like and I'm really happy about it, and I'm really happy to finish this video off on a positive note because this segment is transitioning out for my initial reaction for Swordcatcher. I mean, that wasn't my initial reaction. I saw the cover on the internet everywhere beforehand, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a much more positive experience. For those who thought that the Swordcatcher experience was brutal, I apologize. Let's get through this box right now. Okay, so I'm just going to try to find the spoiler card first before I go through the items at the top. The theme for this month is Alchemy of Us. I know what the book is. I've seen a few of these items, but I'm so happy that I get to see them up close and personal right now. Just gonna put this down. Okay, so the first thing I see in this box that just so happened to be on top of everything is this organizer hanger. What is this actually called? Alchemy drawers? Okay, are these drawers? These are just little pockets for you to put stuff on, and I believe that I would need to hang this up. No, that did not happen. That did not happen while I was on camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know I can fix it. You know what? Maybe I don't even need the string. Maybe I could find some sort of hook somewhere and then hook it from here. I'll see if I can make that work in this apartment. But yeah, this is handy. I mean, I don't need one of these. At least I do have one of them. I don't tend to use things like this in my apartment, but I might need it eventually, so it's kind of good to keep on hand. And is this inspired by any specific fandom at all? It looks like it is inspired by the book pick of the month. The next thing I see in this box is this beautiful thing right here, the World of Sarah J. Maas calendar. This I got so pumped for, and seeing this on everyone's bookish social media made me so sad because I thought that my box was lost in transit, so I would have felt really sad if I did not get a replacement box or if my box just did not show up. So thankfully my box did show up and I do have this item. I'm just trying to open it right now so I can show you guys. I love the design of this box. I just gotta show show you guys this beautiful design right here. Like, check that out. I love the rainbow. I love how dark it is, first of all, but I also love the rainbow colors that are displayed here. And best of all, we also have some SJM series imagery here. We've got the Night Court Mountain, we've got the Crescent Moon, and then we have the stag here. I'm definitely gonna keep this package. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Okay, so here we have little wooden stand. There we go, wooden stand here. And then what we need to do every month is to change the card on this wooden stand, essentially for calendar purposes. So first of all, I've got Rowan here on January. Oh my goodness! And behind here, like, not only do we have the dates here, but behind here we actually have a character card of Rowan and the rest of the characters who are represented in this card pack. Look at that! Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with this. Honestly, I would have been so devastated if we just got a calendar and that's it. I'm really happy that this is multi-purpose. It's a calendar and then character card. And secondly, we have Aelin from Throne of Glass as well. I really love how Rowan and Aelin are back to back. Thirdly, I believe that is Recent we have for March. Let me show you. And then we have Manon for April. Wait. No, sorry, I got that wrong. This is Dorian. Okay, Dorian for March, Manon for April. I just realized that this might be going in order of couples, so that's why I figured that Dorian makes more sense than Recent. Yeah, the dude has blue eyes. He doesn't have purple eyes. Okay, yeah. So this is Dorian. Should have also looked at the fact that he doesn't even have fey ears on here. Manon for April, and then we do have Recent here. Oh my goodness, I'm flopping right now. I really am. It's just the dark-haired guys, I swear. Okay, so we have Recent for May. He looks very nice here. And then we have Feyre for June. She looks lovely. I'm just gonna try to get that focused on. Yep, she looks absolutely lovely there. Then we have, oh my god, he looks so adorable. And then for July, we have Cassian, and he looks absolutely stunning on this card. I'm trying to get this to focus on him, but yeah, my camera was definitely not cooperating just then. Oh my goodness, he looks lovely. But I'm guessing, yeah, we don't have Nesta, which makes me feel sad, but we only have so many months in a year. It kind of makes sense. But we do have the representation of the Bat Boys here because we also have Azriel here for August. And then for September, we have Danica from Crescent City. And who is on the October card? October is my birthday month. Oh, we've got Rune for October. I'm not mad about that. I love Rune. And then we have Bryce Quinlan for November. Check it out. Oh my goodness, I love that art so much. And then finally, for December, we have Hunt Athlar, who looks mighty fine on this. Oh my goodness. I am loving these cards so much, and I'm loving the character cards. I am really bad with keeping up with a calendar. Like, I really struggle to flick over a calendar when a month has passed, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep up with this, but I'm happy that we've also been provided with these character cards just in case we cannot keep up with it. Honestly, these cards are so beautiful. I also love the illustrator. I believe this illustrator is Morgan O. Anagram. I really don't know how to pronounce their illustrator name. Let me try again. Morgana Zero Anagram. It's Morgana O and then Morgana backwards. I get it now! I have been following this artist for like 2 or 3 years, and this is the first time I understand what their name means. I love their art, I love their illustrations. If I can get my hands on any of their illustrations, I will generally pick them up. I have the Fallen Legacies series by Julie Holt on my shelf, and they are the illustrated editions, and the same illustrator also illustrated the naked hardbacks for those. Also, the Raven and the Dove series, I believe they also illustrated. I love their illustrated covers, also love their fan art as well, and I'm really happy that I have these character cards from them, and I have this calendar. I think that this calendar is very smart, and I'm just gonna show you guys quickly how this wooden block thing works. So you just have to put that on, and then you'd be able to display it on your desk, but you can also do it the other way as well. You could just display these character cards if you want to look at a specific character. Right now, Rowan is looking mighty fine, so I'm not mad about this. That's definitely one of the best Fairyloot items I've received in a while. Like, yes, maybe I have a bias because I love Sarah J. Maas's books, but I specifically love the illustrator, so anything that I can get illustrated by this illustrator, I'm very content with. And the next item I see see in this box I'm so excited for. It seems to be another one of the magical tomes. So I'm just gonna take this out here. Oh, that is pretty. This holo book is titled Advanced Alchemy. So check that out. I'm just gonna let you guys look at that very quickly, and then I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna show you the spine. I love that spine. These holo books are the best. I'm also very much happy with the fact that these holo books aren't numbered on the spines, because I'm pretty sure their other holo books that were like the secret books, they had volume numbers, whereas these ones don't. So it's a great item for those who have jumped onto a Fairyloot subscription sometime after the first one was released. I'm very happy with this one. I believe I've received a green one and a purple one so far, so red is a very nice addition to my collection, and I usually put bookmarks and art prints in these. If they can't fit in my print folder, or I put enamel pins in these definitely come in handy for the little knickknacks I receive. I'm happy to have this on hand, and this is definitely one of my favorite items in the box as well. I mean, the calendar so far is definitely my favorite, but I definitely can never go wrong with a holo book. And the next item I see in this box seems to be a lanyard and a pouch holder. Oh, okay, so I see the Vampire Academy symbol here. So this is a Vampire Academy inspired item, which I will probably need for conventions going forward. Like if I want to use this pouch instead of a standard pouch that can get ripped easily. This is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna put this on. I love the pattern on this lanyard. I do kind of like that the Vampire Academy logo is sprinkled in there, but I think most of all I appreciate the fact that there's a pattern going on, which makes this lanyard very interesting and stylish. I really like this. I just need to make sure I don't lose it. It's so soft as well. I really love the feeling of this lanyard. Usually I'm not a huge fan of lanyards being a box item, but considering that eventually I want to start branching out and attending more conventions, I can't be mad at this. I think that this is awesome. It's also a good thing to carry like keys on, or like a work swipe maybe. Yeah, I don't have a work swipe shaped like this, but if I did, I would definitely place it in here, or maybe an opal card. You know, that'd be pretty cool. My train card. If you're not from Sydney, you don't know what an opal card is, that's what an opal card is here. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this item. It's not my favorite item from the box, but it's definitely one that will come in handy in the future. And the next thing that's in this box, I believe, are the tarot cards before we get to the book. And I believe on these monthly tarot cards, we have Juliet as the 5 of Moons and Roma as the 6 of Moons. Both these characters are from These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and they are the protagonists. They're the main couple. And I really like the aesthetic of these cards. I reckon that these cards definitely match the rest of what's going on in the box. The only item that stands out in this box that does not match this red crimson theme is the World of Sarah J. Maas calendar. It's one of those items that could be included in any box, but I am happy that they included it in the November box, especially because I'm filming this very late in December and I finally received the calendar. So if they put it in the December box and I had received the box in January, then I would have been really devastated. So it definitely worked out for good there, but I just find it really funny that there is an item in this box that does not match this red/crimson theme, when the tarot cards do, when the lanyard does, when the holo book does, and the organizing thing does. Pretty sure the book is as well. And last but certainly not least, we have the book pick of the month, and I'm so excited to show you guys this. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you guys have seen this. I am definitely the last one to unpackage this one. And the Fairyloot November Young Adult Book Pick of the Month is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. This is so gorgeous. I'm so happy I have this book. Oh my goodness, this totally makes up for the fact that I really did not like Swordcatcher. And when I say that, I mean the Fairyloot edition of Swordcatcher. I have not yet read the book. This cover is so gorgeous. I don't mind the original cover, but I'm not gonna lie, the original cover feels intense. Like I feel as if every single time I'm staring at the Scarlet Alchemist cover, I get shivers. It's not because the cover is not pretty. Like, the cover is pretty. It's just that the portrait image that we have for the cover just feels very close. It feels like my soul is being stared into every single time I look at the cover. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a little bit unsettling. But this cover right here is a bit more palatable for me. So I'm really happy I had this beautiful illustrated cover. It's so detailed. I love it. I need to show you guys the full spread here. Let's look at the full spread together. Also, these pages are gorgeous. Even though I'm not a fan of copy and paste edges, it works for this cover because this is a completely redesigned cover, so I'm really happy with what Fairyloot did here. Oh, okay, these end pages are so pretty. I need to look at the other ones as well to see if they're just as pretty. Oh, I love that. I love how detailed and vivid this art is. And then let's look at the foiling on the naked hardback. Oh my goodness, I love that illustration so much. That is gorgeous. This edition is gorgeous, and I am over the moon that this box did not get lost in transit. I don't think there's an item in this box that I don't like. I do think that the item I'm least likely to use at the moment is the organizer. I think maybe I might use it eventually, but I don't trust those hanging organizers that much. I mean, I don't trust that string that it was hanging off of. Like, honestly, I don't know. I don't trust them as much as I trust like actual solid storage spaces. So that's why I don't think I will use it anytime soon. However, my favorite items are definitely the holo book and the calendar, but I also adore this beautifully illustrated cover. I am in love with this beautiful customized edition, and I'm really glad that overall the November box for the young adult Fairyloot turned out to be amazing, because I wasn't keen on October's. I did not love the October box, and funnily enough, I did not love the November adult book pick, but I just so happened to love the adult book pick for October, and I loved this box for November. It's just interesting that sometimes I will have a really good month for the YA box, and I'll have a really good month for the adult box, but sometimes there are just off months, and I just have to accept that. Anyway, let's cut back to past G-Swizz. I'm pretty sure she did an outro, so go listen to her outro. So I guess it's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you happen to stay to the end of the video, leave me the purple heart emoji, and if you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already joined the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social media. I'm at gswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. And finally, I'm at TikTok. I'm at gswizzle on TikTok if you want to follow me there for some bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it in a double. Started out with half and I flipped it in a double.